get into Matt Walsh. Now, Matt Walsh works for Ben Shapiro.
Boy.
Matt Walsh works for Ben Shapiro. Now, I'm backing up a little bit right before the questions because you have to hear how his speech ends because it really shows you what a hypocrite he is once we get into the questions. So here we go.
Exhaustive. There are many more arguments I could put forward for all the topics covered, but hopefully you see that at least valid reasons exist to question the mainstream narrative on these topics.
Okay.
And hopefully you see that you need not be a bigot to stand for the traditional, quote-unquote, traditional definitions of life, marriage, and gender. Hopefully we can, in fact, all of us in this room, pledge from here on forward not to shout down arguments,
Look,
any argument,
not to shout down
by
arguments.
simply labeling it.
Good. Well, I'm glad. Hey, Matt, you know what, buddy? I'm glad we're on the same page here.
And this is an Always Sunny intro. Then it should just go to black and it goes, Matt Walsh shouts down arguments.
You know, calling someone bigoted is not an argument.
Good.
Accusing them of...
Agreed.
Are we all agreeing
We're
here?
all guys. Are we
Are
all
we
on the same
page?
Holy shit! Did he know what was coming?
I don't think he knew what was coming, Mike. I don't think he knew.
Did
Homophobia.
they have this event going on? And did this idiot think, hey, at least they're all focused on Crenshaw tonight?
Yeah.
It's gonna be smooth sailing for Matty Boy. And then he went out there and was like, look, the last thing you want to do is just shut down a conversation because by calling somebody bigoted or straw manning them. That would be ridiculous. To the bald, buff gentleman in the dress shirt, yes, your question first. It's just Vince from Red Elephants. Yeah, I have a question for you. You're like, oh, no.
or racism, or sexism, or transphobia, or any other phobia or ism you can think of, is not an argument. It is a tantrum.
Anti-Semitism? Is that an ism? That's an ism too, right? Is that one of the isms?
It's a way of shutting
Zionism?
down debate.
Zionism's another good ism, Mike. Yeah. Judaism? Well, look, guys, I'm not just naming isms.
Not engaging in it. If somebody has really put forth a bigoted argument, you should have no trouble disproving it.
You're right. I mean, look, you got... No, Royce. Look, Matt, you're right. I know personally, like, when some unhinged alt-right spurg or one of these fucking ethno-state retards comes to me and starts screaming and babbling, yeah, I'm pretty good at arguing with them.
Yeah.
So I agree. Yeah, I mean, when their position is indefensible, Matt, you're right. It's easy to beat them back, right, brother? Let's take some questions.
Should be very easy to do. If you can't, then perhaps that means there's more to that point of view than you think. Or maybe you're also a bigot. Who knows? So please, let's not be intellectually lazy. Please don't hide behind a fortress of ignorance while flinging labels at your opponents.
Let's not do
Let's
any
all-
of that.
Don't do that.
The last, guys.
Don't do that.
Folks, the last thing we're going to do is just label all our opponents as bigots and losers and not debate them. The last thing we're going to do is destroy the very essence of conversation and debate.
Try not to win arguments by labeling the opposing argument hate speech. These are the tactics of cowards and fools.
Yep, I agree.
I think we
100%.
should all be better than that. Thank you,
Yes.
guys.
Matt Walsh, everybody. Turn it around on this guy, Royce.
You want to hear some of these questions?
I am, you know what? At least this guy, man, he's like, fuck Dan Crenshaw and fuck Charlie Kirk. We're going to do it Matty Boy's way. I'm not going to just let these people shut me down. Let's have a spirited debate. I love this guy. Love it.
Guys, so much. Appreciate it.
First question.
Oh, no, he looks familiar.
We will now begin our Q&A. If you would like to ask Matt a question, please go around the back side and line up. The line starts in the back. When you come up, please stand close to the mic. You can ask one concise question and no follow-up questions, please.
Oh, God, it's Dylon. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I don't think it's the first question.
'Cause he was-
I think you're going to recognize the first guy asked the first question, though. I'm pretty sure you're going to recognize him. Maybe you are. I don't really know.
It was him first.
It was him first.
Shout out to Vince.
And we love Vince.
By the way, he handled himself beautifully.
Vince is the best. When we still nobodies, when we were like absolute zeros, when we had like 2,000 subscribers, Vince had us on his show. Vince will come on our show.
Yeah.
Vince has always been nothing but a great dude to us.
Yeah, I've had a lot of conversations with him.
Even when they blew, even when some of our fans blew up his Owen Benjamin interview, he was still always a nice and great dude to us. I really respect Vince.
Yeah.
One of the few dudes out there that knows how to do it without being a spurg.
Hello, Matt.
Hi.
As a Christian, how do you get past working for someone who originally contributed to shaming the Covington Catholic kids, and
He did.
He did.
He did. He said that they were terrible, that they were pieces of shit, and then he had to backtrack it.
by retweeting left-wing attacks, and called Jesus a Jewish rebel who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble?
And that's the exact quote from the Joe Rogan episode. That is he's not
Because other people have come and paraphrased him. Vince
Right.
came in full autist mode.
That
and
is-
was like,
that is the
here's the
exact
quote.
quote.
Yes.
And women listening, he's married, okay? Because women love Vince. He's married. Chill out, all right, ladies? You calm down.
That's. Wait, you're telling me that my Jewish boss doesn't believe that Jesus is the Son of God? I'm scandalized.
That's not what he said.
No, that's not what he said.
That's not what he said.
Didn't he just
That's
say he
not
wasn't
what
going to
he
do this?
said. Yep.
Didn't he just say we shouldn't do this?
Yes.
Jewish point of view, where we don't believe in the divinity of Christ. I
Right.
think that there you can make an argument that the Gospels, which were written,
He was just a prophet, and right?
No, we don't even believe he was a prophet.
What do you think he was? What do you guys think?
I
he
mean,
was?
what do I think he was historically? I think he was a Jew who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble. Just like
That's what he
What
said.
did he just? I just wanted to. I
He
honestly
said
wanted to
word
compare it.
for fucking word.
He was reading it when he said it. He quoted him directly. And when you're in a room with Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan, who's Mr. Agnostic Atheist dude, and Joe Rogan is treating Jesus with more respect than the guy who is selling Bible insurance. See, that's what bugs me about Ben. You can make those statements if you want, and now Matt's going to defend him by saying, as you just heard Matt Walsh say, that my boss doesn't believe in Jesus. That's not what he said. He said, as you heard here, he said,
what do I think he was historically? I think he was a Jew who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble. Just
First of all, don't come up here peddling that nonsense about Ben Shapiro. I'm not going to have it, all right? I can only see out of one eye.
he said it.
No, see, that was Crenshaw.
No, I
did
know,
that
I know,
too,
I
and
know,
it was
but I'm
like,
saying,
you fucking
he
pieces
said
of
it.
shit, man.
So you heard him say it. Now here's what bothers me, Matt, and Vince has a big, in my opinion, Vince asked a great question. He's going to continue to press him. How can you be Ben Shapiro and say that about Jesus, right? But then do commercials for those Christian, health pools and whatever.
Well, yeah, and he's always pushing this Christian, like he panders.
Judeo-Christian, folks. It's Judeo-Christian.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's not Judeo-Christian. You said yourself that he's a common criminal
Folks,
piece of shit.
Judeo-Christians built this country. When we came over here on the Mayflower, us Judeo-Christians showed up.
It's part of the Judeo-Christian traditions, okay? Our actual God and then your common criminal who deserve to be crucified.
He didn't say
That
deserve,
doesn't...
but he said it was
I'm not them.
crucified for his trouble.
I'm not
He
them,
didn't
Royce.
say that, Mike. Are you inferring what
No,
he meant?
and he did say he deserved it. I was going to say, I mean, I might be being more hyperbolic. I'm not quoting him directly like Vince. When somebody says he got something for his trouble, that's implying that they deserved it. You know what I mean? If somebody said to Royce, what happened to Mersh? Why is he in the hospital? Well, he went out, got fucking hammered and drove, and he flipped his car over, and now he's in the hospital for his trouble. Like, he got hurt for his trouble. He's an idiot.
JPCROTC says, oh, yeah, you mean the Ben Shapiro that made jokes about Notre Dame while it was burning? And look, you can make jokes about Notre Dame, but you can't be Ben Shapiro and do it. Because if it was what I'm setting you up. What I know I'm setting you up. What's a huge Jewish monument?
Bank of America.
I knew what I was
CNN.
thinking. I knew. Go ahead, come on.
News Corp.
Go ahead. I did it. Go ahead.
The New York Times.
All right.
Miramax Films.
2J's.
West Palm Beach. All of it. It's just Just some thoughts.
The Diamond District.
New York City, the entire Manhattan Island. Guys, come on.
Law firms. Let's take this seriously. Hollywood, somebody said.
Epstein Island, there's a temple there I think is very precious to them.
Somebody said Miramax.
I said that one.
Oh, sorry. I just read the chat.
It took me a minute, too, because I was trying to think of Weinstein. I'm like, well, what was his one?
Ooh. I knew it. I knew. I knew when I said it. I knew when I said it.
I love we have a few.
Oh, here's another one. United Airlines Flight 175.
The headquarters of Urban Moving Systems. I like that there's always one well-meaning, honest person in the chat. The Dome of the Rock? Yeah, no, thanks.
We know, we get
Thanks
it.
for that. That's not as funny.
But we're having fun.
Yeah, that's not as funny as Bank of America.
Somebody said the Soviet Union. Shout out to Tuvan Warlord.
Oh, shit.
Ormond Beach, Florida. Fucking guys. Planned Parenthood. The New York Yankees.
These are all proper answers.
The Pentagon.
These are all acceptable answers, folks.
Oh, fuck. Trump Towers. All right.
Also
come on. Matt, sorry, look, we got to get through this, all right? We paused too much, Mike, and you know that.
Yeah.
Okay? Though having fun.
Enough.
Okay.
Enough.
Rockland County, New York.
Oh, that's fucking good stuff.
Oh, sorry. The Federal Reserve. Stop, guys. Come on, man. I want to get through this.
We're never going to get out of here.
Okay.
By this, I have no idea. As a Christian, how do I justify working for someone who is not a Christian?
That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
A total non sequitur.
Who blasphemed Christ? That's my main question.
Well, it's.
And by the way,
Vince
is a guy that he has that vibe of like you can tell where it's like I'm going to be calm, I'm going to look you in the eye, and I'm going to treat you with dignity and respect. But I could fuck you up. Like I could fuck you up.
Vince is a problem.
At any given moment, I could fuck you up.
Vince seems like the kind of dude that you really have to push to snap. But once he snaps, you're fucked.
So I mean,
you're fucked.
he's been to like jail.
Yeah.
Like, Vince is no joke, man. Vince, Vince. That's one of those guys where it's like, no, I'm just asking you a question. Answer the question, and you're like, okay, I'll answer the question.
Are you suggesting that everyone? Hold on a second. Are you suggesting that everyone who is not Christian is guilty of blasphemy?
You are a Christian, and you're working for someone who blasphemed Christ, Jesus Christ. He called him a Jewish rebel. Just a Jewish rebel who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got...
Is that the security guard?
Yeah.
Okay, Vince could take the security guard out, by the way.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, no, by the way, that security guard is definitely just some friend who's getting paid a couple bucks who's kind of big.
He's probably Jewish.
But he looks like a guy you could fuck up pretty easily, you know? He looks like a guy like one of us could probably be. He's just like an old fat boomer. I'm going to stay in here like I'm a mafioso.
Yeah, why did he show up? Vince wasn't doing anything aggressive or doing anything that would even...
Because these people are fucking scared. Because these people are dishonest and they're disingenuous and they know it. Why does Matt Walsh have a fucking $50 bodyguard? For the same reason Mark Zuckerberg has $1 billion tunnel under his fucking building. These people are terrified because they know what's going on behind the mask. And they know that people are starting to figure out what's going on behind the mask. And when people start realizing that you're evil, people start considering doing things.
And what he said about Jesus, can you imagine if somebody says, yeah, you know what Schindler was? Schindler was just a snitch who made pots and pans. He would get pissed. He'd be, no, he won't. What are you talking about? He was saving people from Nazis. Like you can't say something. You can't. There. Yes.
Yeah, I can't just go like, yeah, Moses was a homosexual. Like they'd be start eating me alive.
But this is exactly what I love. It's like he didn't ask. You could absolutely work for somebody that's not you could work for an atheist. But how can you say you're a Christian and work for somebody who has publicly said on a fucking radio show, who has said on a show that about Jesus? How do you justify that? Like how do you how can you say that's okay with you? Because either you're a fake Christian, and also, propaganda LTD's got a good point. Ben Shapiro uses Christianity to make money and uses his Christians and Catholic cattle to grift off of Christians.
To goy them.
That's exactly what it is.
Off
Those leftist tears owning libtards, you're grifting on them. You it's absolutely what you're doing. And Ben Shapiro is one of the biggest two-faced pieces of shit that's in this new media.
Killed just like other Jewish rebels did. And I'm a Christian, and I just don't see I couldn't see myself.
Okay, so you're not going to work for.
And then originally retweeted left-wing attacks on the Covington Catholic kids. I'm Catholic.
Okay, just to clarify, you're not going to work for anyone who's not Christian, is what you're saying.
You see what he's
doing? That's your
doing?
decision.
I'm not going to work for someone who publicly states to millions upon millions of people that Jewish was a Jewish rebel who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans.
Would you ever work for a non-Christian?
Not if they publicly state to millions upon millions of people. This was on Joe Rogan that Jesus was a Jewish rebel who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble. Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
I'll tell you what.
He's not backing off. And it's great because it's showing that he's going to keep not answering the question.
Yep.
And it's just, this was salute to Vince, man. Beautifully done. He didn't lose his cool. You could tell he kind of wanted to lose his cool, too.
Yep.
You can feel... Like, there are people that you can kind of tell are just out there to kind of own these guys and be like, I'm a good troll. I'm gonna troll. And then there's the people that are out there to clout chase and get a little snippet. But you can actually hear the emotion in Vince's voice. Like, he's getting emotional.
Yeah.
And he's getting like, but he's still kind of keeping it under control. No. That's not what I'm saying. That he said, bup. But he's getting like, but you're not... He said, but Vince is still going like, breathe, don't fucking, don't kill this,
blow up, yeah.
Millions upon millions of people. This was on Joe Rogan.
When I get back to the studio, I'm going to talk to Ben and tell him you must be a Christian right now because that is unacceptable.
See the smugness?
That's not what he said. You're blowing him off.
He's not good at this, by the way.
Also man, that's not what I'm saying.
Let me also.
I've worked for many non-Christians in the past. What I'm saying is...
Then let me tell you something. I'm going to talk now, okay? Thank you for your question. If you have worked for any non-Christian, then you have worked for people who feel exactly that way about Jesus.
No. And the answer is that to no. You cannot agree with a religion and still respect it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You can't. Like, there's a difference between working... Let's say if you're a Muslim. There's a difference if you're a Muslim guy working for a taxi company that's owned by a Christian, for example. No one's going to care. But there's a difference if you're a Muslim guy working for a taxi company that's owned by a Christian who went on the fucking AM radio in the morning and said Muhammad was a faggot.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand there's a difference?
Don't worry, I'm even going to let you fucking pedophile worshippers work here. You'd be like, yo, hey, dude,
there is a difference.
Can you give me a fucking rest here? It's my religion.
There is a difference. You can work in a world where everybody respects each other's religion. You can. But to say you're a Christian and someone that blasphemes, you cannot agree with Christianity and respect Christianity. You cannot agree with Islam, but respect Islam. You cannot agree with Judaism.
But also, you notice here how he. So Matt, would you hire somebody who doesn't like who criticizes Jews? Would you hire somebody who criticizes Israel?
Yeah.
Like, if they're of another religion, like, would you hire somebody who's a pagan? Well, they'd have to pass a drug test, so probably not. But would you hire somebody who's a pagan and who doesn't like Jews or Semitic religions in general? Like, there's it's such a weird thing where it's like you can criticize Christianity. Like, Ben can shit on Christianity, but if anybody shits on Judaism, whoa, hey, oh.
Ben Shapiro isn't going to fucking hire Nick Fuentes on the Daily Wire. You know what I mean? Because of stuff like that.
The Daily Wire would get so much buzz, though. Nick Shorewood's fucking make things exciting over there. Hey, has anybody seen my Jew boss? I haven't gotten my paycheck this week.
You could just say boss. It's redundant.
Hey, boss, you're not exactly shattering stereotypes. My direct deposit didn't show up today. Just needling Ben all day.
Because there are 7 billion people on Earth. 5 billion of them are not Christian. All of those 5 billion believe that Jesus was a Jewish rebel or something else, or maybe something worse than that. So
yes, but they don't go on the Joe Rogan podcast while you're making money off of those people and shit on them. See, you're leaving that last part out.
Yeah, it's. I don't think so much, buddy, that you're getting it. It's not so much Ben Shapiro's disdain for Christ, but his disdain for these cattle, these fucking losers, these sheep Christians that he sells bullshit to. That's the problem.
that shouldn't scandalize us, and the idea that we should make employment decisions based on that, to me, is totally absurd. Let's go to the next question. Thank you.
When at the same time, before we get to the next question, when at the same time you have Ben Shapiro, every time somebody is slightly criticizes the Jews, these people are anti-Semitic, folks, okay? Did you know I got more death threats than any other Jew on the planet that's ever lived on planet Earth? Did you guys know that? Did you guys know if you go to the ADL and you look at, I got more people calling me and saying they're going to kill me because I'm Jewish than anybody in the world. You can't cry out about that stuff, and then when you do it to somebody else and they go, hey, man, don't say that about me. And then go, oh, you're not going to work for a non-Jew, Sweaty?
I really respect that you said we should not be shutting down any argument by calling people names. I absolutely believe that. Recently, you got into a little bit of a Twitter spat with Nicholas J. Fuentes. You went on your show and called him a punk and said he became a neo-Nazi to get attention. Mm-hmm. You said if someone's arguments are truly bigoted, they should be easier to disprove. So will you have a conversation with Nicholas J. Fuentes? And if not, isn't that kind of the same thing you just said that we shouldn't do? You know, labeling people to shut down conversations?
Yeah,
and by the way, let's all just take a moment here.
Good question.
You know, I don't want to knock the young man. Dylon, he's not the brightest bulb
Still
sometimes.
A good question.
No, but that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
He's not the brightest bulb sometimes. Dylon's not known for spirited debate. He's kind of a goof. He just murked Matt Walsh at his own thing. Like, did it respectfully? Did it just came up, asked a question, boom, and go? No, and you go now, dude. He nailed this. And when I first saw him go up to the mic, I went, oh no, oh god, this is gonna. I don't know if he's on new meds or something, because I was like, this is gonna turn into a Spurg fest. And then Dylon goes up and he asks this very well phrased, eloquent question, and I'm like, holy shit. Okay. By the way, I suspect that maybe Vince helped him too on the side.
Yeah,
and was like,
I think you might be right.
Okay,
somebody helped him.
Just make sure you don't say this, but say that. Okay, great. They're all just coordinating.
That conversation began. That little back and forth began because your buddy Nick went on his.
He never said he was his buddy.
This is the dismissive thing.
You're being dismissive and you're talking down to people, Matty boy.
Show or whatever it is.
Show or whatever it is.
Yeah, he gets very
dismissive.
Having a tantrum, even though I hadn't said anything to him. I think what I had done was I had actually tweeted that the guy who killed a bunch of Mexicans was a racist piece of shit, which I stand by. Yeah. And for some reason, Nick J. Fuentes, that upset him. He didn't like that. He didn't like that I was talking about blasphemy. I was blaspheming a mass shooter. He didn't like it. And then he went off on a rant. He started calling me homophobic slurs, and he said that I'm a race traitor because I work for Jews, and so on and so forth. And I responded, do I want to have a debate with him about whether I am those homophobic slurs or whether I'm a race traitor working for Jews? No, I don't think I need to debate with him. For the same reason, I don't need to debate, a 6-year-old who's crying because I took away the lollipop.
But
I mean,
But you just said, and that's why I said, that's why I played that part from the beginning. You just said not to dismiss anybody like you just did. You just dismissed him. You just dismissed him and said you don't need to talk to him. You are a fucking hypocrite. And anybody watching this video, please explain to me how he is not a hypocrite with what he just said. Tell me the mental gymnastics it takes.
I want this man broken now next. I want him
This will
broken.
be easy.
I was saying that last night on Nightwave. This guy's easy because he's not smart.
No.
And he's got a little temper under there. And it's only going to take a couple little pokes to get him to really fucking explode. And that's what I want. I want more pressure on this asshole. And by the way, this guy reads every tweet.
Oh, yeah.
This guy responds to a lot of tweets. Hammer this hypocritical asshole. Video clips of him. Literally, somebody go chop up him saying, we don't, we're not going to dismiss people. And it's the end part that Royce played of his speech, and superimpose it with Dylon's question, and you hammer him with it, and you hammer him with it.
Can somebody do that, please?
Don't just hammer him with it. Every time somebody tweets, hey, Matt Walsh is going to be coming to our forum, or Matt Walsh is going to be joining us for a live Q&A, you reply to those people. Tell Matt Walsh to answer for this, answer for this, answer for that. Respond to every Daily Wire tweet and Ben Shapiro tweet with a clip like that, and hammer them until this man breaks.
Isn't that kind of labeling someone a slur so that you can avoid the debate? I mean, you guys could debate about any number of issues.
That's literally how the debate started. With him
now you're shouting me down.
Started it.
Now you're shouting me down.
I like how Dylon's being the cool.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, what's your problem?
That's literally how the quote-unquote debate started, with him labeling me slurs. Don't you see that?
I mean, that maybe, but you could debate any host of issues with him. You could debate, I mean, you pick.
If someone shouts slurs at me, I'm going to respond and move on. I don't feel the need to sit down with them and have some tea and talk more about whether I'm whatever slurs that they just...
I mean,
what slur did he call him? Does anybody... I don't really know, so I don't even know if he's... What did Nick call him? Because... What slur did he call Matt? I'm unaware of. Does anybody know?
I'm sure he did call him the gay F word and probably a bunch of other shit, but, who cares?
He should stop acting like one.
Yeah.
Would you debate serious topics with him, like, say,
He's not
demographics, immigration? He absolutely would.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Like, say, demographics, immigration, something like serious like that. Would you debate that with him?
He's not interested. When did he say he wasn't interested?
Absolutely. I'll be there tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Of course he would.
Are you kidding me? Absolutely. He'd fill up his fucking Blue's Clue backpack and show up there in a heartbeat.
Show up with a Go-Gurt and a Capri Sun ready to go.
Let's do this.
No, but yeah, Nick's been chomping at the bit to get any one of these dudes in the ring. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he would. He would.
With him.
Is he capable of having a debate without shouting about the Jews every 5 seconds?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I've listened to Nick's show, by the way. He doesn't just shout about the Jews every 5 seconds.
But they're doing their thing, man. They're just
you're lying.
Yeah.
You're being disingenuous. Oh, and Benjamin shouts about the Jews every 5 seconds. That's not what Nick does.
Absolutely, he would.
Right. Well, I'm good for him. Thanks.
Would you be willing to have a debate with him?
He's getting mad.
No, I'm not going to have a debate.
Isn't that kind of what you just said? You don't do shouting people down, refusing the conversation.
Well, I'm not shouting him down. He can talk.
Refusing the conversation.
No, he can absolutely talk about the Jews all he wants. It's just I have no interest.
Nope.
He is being.
When did he? Excuse me. When did he mention the?
Walsh,
nobody said that. You said the Jews.
Matt Walsh spends more time defending Jews than he does testifying about Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't. You wouldn't have to talk about that at all. I mean, I feel like these are excuses.
Okay, no, it's just I don't have to sit down and have a formal debate with every idiot who rants about me online. If I did that, I could.
But you will sit. Your boss will sit down and have Blair White on, right? You will sit down with.
Is that
Blair
part
White.
of our shared Judeo-Christian values?
You will do that though, right? You will have famed homosexual Dave Rubin on your show. You will do that. You will do that. That's fine.
Could never do anything else in my life.
Can you see how that would look to some like you're making excuses to avoid the conversation?
I've answered your question. Thank you.
Fucking poor girl. I do actually feel bad for these. I'm going to skip ahead here because this one's just a typical,
Yeah,
I
feel bad.
I got timestamps.
I feel bad for tan Maggie Gyllenhaal too.
Yeah. Again, can I? Is this security guard supposed to be intimidating?
I don't know. He actually looks funny to me.
Embarrassing.
It looks funny.
Yeah.
Right?
It looks like Will Sasso playing a security guard.
I would be like, take the fucking sunglasses off,
you're
guy.
inside,
you look like
man.
an idiot. You look like a stupid
He's giving
idiot.
people ocular pat downs.
I would want to punch that old man in his fucking stomach.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing? You know what this is? This is a retired cop. That's what that is. That's a retired cop.
It comes down to race. I think, as I said, it comes down mainly to ideas. Yep.
And this is the next one.
Good
This one's
afternoon.
great.
My question is regarding the state of conservatism in the 21st century. It appears like...
And this is a fucking vote for Pedro Mexican guy straight out of Napoleon Dynamite.
Our base, our party has been hijacked by neocons and libertarians that only pay lip service to evangelical Christians on the social issues and immigration. However, These conservatives only seem to deliver on securing funds for Israel, getting us involved in more wars, bringing in low-skilled labor to take away jobs from U.S. citizens, while also pushing for corporations to get tax cuts and to decide the wages of the American worker. What should we do regarding this crisis, or is this even a crisis to begin with?
Good question.
First of all, neo-Nazi. Okay. It'd be funny if you thought that was Nick Fuentes. Mm-hmm. Why are you people letting Nick Fuentes in here? No, Matt, that's not Nick Fuentes. Wait, there's more than one Hispanic in this movement?
Thanks a lot, Jose Goebbels.
So what should we do about the crisis of illegal immigration is basically your question.
Nope.
No, it's not.
Matt Walsh is a dumb motherfucker.
No, he's not dumb. Nah. He's not. I know the dumb thing. He's not dumb. That wasn't a. He wasn't being dumb. He
I
was
get that he's no. I get that he's
purposely
not
doing this.
I'm not saying that he's dumb like he didn't get it.
Right.
I'm saying he's dumb at trying to twist it. He's not good at this. Let's say Matt Walsh isn't. I'm sure he could run a Pep Boys well, but Matt Walsh is not cut out for this kind of mind tricks, dude. That's not. He's not smart. He's not that smart. Ben's pretty good. Crowder's great. Crowder's been hiding his sexuality and all kinds of other weird shit
wife
for years. Yeah. So he's a master at creating diversions and epoxy putty. What? Sound effect. Playground at Thornburg. But Matt's like, yeah. So he's just literally rephrasing the questions into, fine, I'll tell Ben Shapiro to worship Jesus, I guess. Next question. It's like, what? Why even have the Q&A if you're going to come off so wholly unlikable?
And this wasn't a Turning Point thing. This was the other one. This is Young Americans Foundation,
which is a Ben Shapiro, Daily Wire version of Turning Point. That's all
correct.
It is.
Sorry if
I was going to call it a Jewish Turning Point, but that would be redundant.
Yeah,
Turning Point is a Jewish Turning Point.
Does regime change wars?
Okay, that was a lot that you're asking me to solve in 2 minutes here.
I hate him.
No one's asking you to solve it.
They're asking you to answer a question, faggot.
No one's asking you to solve all the geopolitical problems that are going on the planet.
Trust me, Matt, nobody's asking you to fix
those problems. Nobody would. You're right.
Well, as far as immigration, I would say I'm 100% in favor of building the wall. I think the idea that we were going to build a 2,000-mile long wall across the entire border was always pretty silly. I'm not sure that anyone ever believed that was going to happen, but certainly we should be increasing the physical barriers because I think studies show that does decrease the problem of illegal immigration.
Cool. Your boss, Ben Shapiro, and I've heard it my own thing, heard him out when Trump got elected. Guys, building a wall doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why we build a wall. I think building a wall is a waste of money. So don't say, now the wall is great. So either you're for the wall or you're not.
Not even that. He straight up said, I don't think any of us ever thought we were getting a wall. Hey, fuckface. A lot of us voted for a wall.
Correct.
We should be enforcing the laws that we have on the books. I think that's also a problem is we haven't been enforcing those laws.
Ben Shapiro, I don't believe in the browning of America, Shapiro. Your boss is another one that's you just staple a green card. More people coming, as long as it's legal, I don't care.
So, hope I answered your question.
You didn't even answer a question. You didn't even answer a part of his question.
He's getting mad. He
doesn't want to be.
He is getting mad. Here's another one. He is getting mad.
Okay.
This guy should have been ready. Fuck's wrong.
He was. I
Okay,
think
here we
his
go.
phone closed.
Okay, this is painful.
Oh, sorry. Here it is. Okay, sorry about that. Within 5 years of gay marriage being approved, we have drag kids, drag queen story hour, adults dancing with children at pride parades naked, decriminalization of AIDS transmission, kids being chemically castrated by the state, men competing in women's events, and Desmond is Amazing going on Good Morning America. In Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's organization, they've started to promote pictures with drag queens such as, what was her name?
Lady MAGA?
Lady MAGA? Yeah. Have you seen that?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't know what
He's lying.
He's talking about Lady MAGA?
Yeah, he was taking a picture with like a guy dressed as a woman.
Okay.
My question is, how long do you think it is before Turning Point USA or other conservative organizations start hosting their own conservative drag queen story hours? In other words, how long is it before corporate or conservative Inc., mainstream conservatism becomes effectively left-wing.
Okay.
And it is. He didn't have a bad question. The delivery wasn't great.
Yeah, he's not great. And he
panicked.
He very badly needed a drink, too.
He panicked, yeah. He was dry.
He had very dry mouth, and he was just very like, okay, all right, okay, okay, all right. He just had to digress too many times, fucking guy. Good question, though.
I can't speak to Turning Point USA or what their plans are. I have a feeling that drag shows probably aren't in their plans.
I believe you're wrong. I believe that if it wasn't for what was going on right now, Turning Point would have Charlie Kirk up there with Blair White if they could.
Oh yeah, that probably will happen. It'll happen.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk would be up there with Blair White in a heartbeat. So don't say things like that because we see it happening. What was it the other person said that basically conservative Inc. is just progressives that are 5 years behind?
Yep, that's great.
So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But in terms of,
but we are worrying.
Oh, I hate this.
People should be worried about this because you have your little court jester out there, Dave Rubin, interviewing these people every day. Every day he's interviewing these people.
This is a beating, man. This didn't take long either.
No, again, it's Matt Walsh, man. You know what Matt Walsh is? Matt Walsh is somebody they hired so they could go, we have to have more than 3 shows if you sign up for the Daily Wire. I guess give Matt Walsh one. It's just numbers. You know what you are? You're padding the numbers for people to sign up for Daily Wire. That's what you are. What did he do before this? What was his thing?
He was just known as some Christian blogger that used to constantly say like dumb, outlandishly dumb shit. I got in a fight with him last year because during one of the shootings, he's like, it'd be solve all these school shootings is if we taught the Bible in schools.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And I'm like, yeah, Matt, Bibles will replace fathers. Like, fucking enough of you, dude. Just drop fucking dead. You don't know what you're talking about.
Generally speaking, conservatives embracing this sort of thing and what you're talking about is more than anything the abuse of children, the sexual abuse of children. In terms of conservatives embracing.
Can I read something? Because this has to do with this. This is going to work out. Pastor's wife celebrates transgender child's puberty blocker paid by church insurance.
Oh, from the LifeSite News article that you had?
No, it's a different. I got it from a different place.
Okay. No, but I'm just saying. I know it was on there.
Yeah,
too.
but I don't. I try to get it from In a viral Facebook post, activist mother of trans child Jamie Brushoff celebrated the insertion of puberty-blocking implants. Her trans daughter, Rebecca, 12, is a public figure with her own Facebook page. The post congratulates Rebecca's bravery for overcoming fear of needles and medical profession. Jamie also praises the professionalism of the doctors involved. Jamie retells in her post, today Rebecca had her second surgical procedure to place a hormone-blocking implant on her arm to prevent her from progressing further into puberty. This is one example of medically appropriate, medically necessary, life-affirming, and often literally life-saving treatment looks like for a transgender child. This was the replacement of an implant as she first had the procedure 2 years ago. Blah 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 blah. Jamie then goes on to explain how the costs were covered, and I'm extra thankful and proud to say that the insurance covering this procedure for my transgender daughter is provided to my husband through his employer, the church.
Matt Walsh doesn't.
But it's not happening. It's not. Why do you guys think it's happening? What does this dummy know? Why does this dummy think it's happening?
That so-called conservatives embracing it, I would. It seems that the pattern is that conservatives generally will object to something, and then it happens anyway, and then within 10 years, most so-called conservatives are saying, it's okay. Right. And so I would say, generally speaking, I think that 10 years from now, probably there will be a lot of conservatives defending it, or at least saying that it's okay and we shouldn't interfere. Unfortunately, I think that's the pattern.
And
so just don't do anything about it.
What do we do about Matt? And what do we do about it,
Nothing.
Matt?
Nobody cares.
Matt, what do we do about it,
So
Matt?
apathy. Okay.
What is it we're supposed to do about it? Lean into it? Is this the grandpa guy you were telling me about?
This fucking dude, man. This guy's
Hello,
a
man.
fucking
Welcome to
glow.
LA.
This guy, by the way, glow in the dark Fed. Wait, get ready for this one.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody else has pretty good questions and stuff.
Get ready for this obvious Fed plant.
Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, sorry.
You want to come?
Sure.
It works online. It works with the live stream.
It works online. Okay.
Okay. I agree with everything you say on life, marriage.
Can you imagine if you would have had him go up there?
And gender, and I agree with their points. But coming from an Italian Catholic perspective, I guess you can call me Grandpa Groyper. But
this is a plant. This is 100% a plant.
Oh, it gets better. When he mentions Dr. David Duke, I tap out. I'm like, all right, buddy, thanks. You know what this guy reminds me of is like, I was saying last night on Nightwave, is right before Charlottesville, there was a free speech rally in Boston. And I remember it was Victus was there, Spencer was there, Fuentes was there. And there were all these neo-Nazis there. Remember, just like the guy we saw in Gainesville?
Yeah.
And that's all the coverage, all the press coverage covered was the neo-Nazis. But every picture of them, they had these deep creases from folding the flags. Everything they were wearing, everything they were carrying was fresh out of a fucking Amazon box. It was ridiculous.
Somebody, Legal Latino Heat. Oh, that's just Baked Alaska's dad. Baked Alaska was there too, and I actually saw somebody shared on Twitter. You know that Grim Reaper tweet where it's like Grim Reaper knocking at different doors, and the Grim Reaper was labeled Baked Alaska, and it was all the movement he's been in, and the next one was the Groypers. Oh god! No, yeah. Oh boy, here we go.
I've been watching some of this stuff. There seems to be a real point of contention between what I would call non-interventionists. In my generation, we were Ron Paul Republicans, or going back further.
Okay, boomer.
One of my historical heroes is Father Charles E. Coughlin. And on the other side, you have what I would call maybe very sincere but fanatical pro-Israel Zionists or neocons. And they support every war that comes down the pike, they seem to support. And so you have the new mouthpieces of the new neoconism, or not only do they support the Zionist wars, but they're not conservative traditional at all. They support just what you're referring to, the LGBTXYZ and the open borders. And one last point.
This is absolutely a plant.
Yeah, it's absolutely
I hadn't seen this
yet.
I haven't seen this yet. This part. This is 100%.
He's got the speech totally memorized. This guy's a Fed.
Yeah, somebody said in the chat, "Wow, buzzwords."
This guy's a fucking Fed.
Yeah,
he worked in way too many. Yeah, this guy glows in the fucking dark.
Point. I want to ask.
Somebody says this is as long as an anime monologue.
Do you agree with my characterization of this conflict between physical conservatives, Zionism versus non-interventionists, and which side are you on? And the second point, the great-grandfather of libertarianism, Murray Rothbard, who was a Jewish atheist,
another buzzword. Got to make sure I know that everybody's an atheist Jew.
Dr. David,
I'm waiting for him to bring up the nap in a second. That's the next thing. Really, that's all he's doing.
Did you know that most of the Bolsheviks we know? All right. Oh, thank you, Fed.
We got
thank you, Fed.
We know the Rothschilds funded both sides of the Civil War.
And the bombing of Dresden was just as bad. And Adolf Hitler he loved dogs. Just like Jesus. Man.
Did you hear about Bay of Pigs?
Where's the fucking clown from Showtime at the Apollo when you need him?
Jesus Christ, man. Fucking, where's Walking Phoenix's clown? When you fucking need him.
Very good point.
Duke for president, and then
did he say doctor? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on it because this was
the part where I went, okay, Fed.
Do you agree with my characterization of this conflict between physical conservatives, Zionism versus
Sorry, I had to bring it up. Mob Tech, he brings up Operation Northwoods.
Yeah.
Yes, all the buzzwords.
Oh, Lucky Larry Silverstein and the USS Liberty, we heard you.
Okay, all right, old man. My story never told.
And then he's right outside on the phone later being overheard on the phone. Did I do good? Mm-hmm. Did I do a good job? Okay. Yeah, I'm on my way back to Quantico. Be there in an hour.
Just walks away and he throws the cross in a fucking dumpster.
A garbage can?
And keeps walking.
Everybody's like, what the fuck
what happened?
That? Which side are you on? And the second point, the great-grandfather of libertarianism, Murray Rothbard, who was a Jewish atheist, he actually, believe it or not, you look this up, he supported Dr. David Duke for president and then Pat Buchanan. So I don't think they're
Dr. David Duke. This is 100% a plant and somebody that was put in there to look, man. I'm not even going to say it's a Fed. I think it's somebody from the Young Americans Foundation that they said, hey, who can we go out there to make these guys? But this isn't a sincere question. Nobody's buying it. Shut the fuck up, Boomer. Shut the fuck up, Boomer. I'm not going to continue. For what? Do we really want to hear the answer? Because I think this is all fake. I don't even want to give this guy.
No, it's fake. Let's go to break.
Let's go to break. I don't want to give this guy any more fucking attention.